Now we hug a little longer, yeah, we kiss a little stronger. Treat our neighbor and a stranger as our friend. Yeah, we're all a little kinder. Let the earth be a reminder. We're hoping beauty grow, love has no end. For all we know, we didn't know. We learned it all the year that we stayed home.
We're back! Hi, everyone. It's great to see you. Welcome to Randy's Live episode. Oh, it's so bright. We can't see it. Episode 84. Thank you, Pumpkin. Skylar Faith McGinnis helping me out, my stage manager. You're so good. You're so great. You're big help. Wow, look at it. And we're back in the music room tonight, and it's dark because we're a little later because we wanted to make sure that people on the East Coast could tune in, people on the West Coast could see us. And things are crazy here in Tennessee. First off, big love to all of the people that went through those terrible storms last night. Skylar actually, her school sent them home 2 hours early. Because the storms were very scary. We were spared. Luckily, our little community was not hit like we were last year. Whew. But a lot of people were hit with devastating tornadoes. So we have weather down here. So we're glad we have power today. We're glad we can be with you. And I'm going to check in to see who's online. Andrew McGinnis, my handy dandy. Hi, Seth, my handy dandy. Oh, my goodness. What are you now? You're director, you're producer, you're sound engineer, you're a whole lot of stuff. Yes, you're my everything. You're my everything will be okay. Is running our very fancy show tonight. Hi, Chris Malik. Oh, you're back in the States. Hopefully. Hello, Joanne. It's good to be back and it's great to see you. A lot of people on with us right now. Hi, Marcia McGinnis. It's so nice to see you tonight. We have some people who have always tuned in and supported us, which we really appreciate. And we have some new people. Colin's back. It's great to see you. I'm surrounded tonight by a little bit of art from some of our friends, surrounded by some of the things that I gathered over the year. Hi, Terry, but not everything. And of course, the wall of art is not up right now. So what are we doing? And why are we saying this is Randy's Live a year later? Because there might be some people tuning in right now who haven't been here for a bit. Hi, Rai. Um, so last year was March 20th, 2020, when we started to really understand the gravity of the situation happening with COVID. And I had just gotten back from a tour in California and I had some more tours scheduled. I had more gigs scheduled and things slowly began to cancel. Broadway was shutting down. Shows were canceling left and right. And so I realized that things were going to be looking a lot different for the next few months. We had also suffered that terrible tornado that happened in Tennessee. So everyone was feeling really at a loss for connection and just sort of like in our own heads and in our own minds. And as a lot of you know, I moved to Nashville a few years ago, but my tribe is sort of all over the country. Jersey girl, gone west, gone south, family up north, other north. I mean, it's sort of crazy. So the idea that I couldn't hop on a plane and see everyone was just crazy to me. So I decided on March 20th that I would go upstairs. I turned to Andrew and I said, we're going to do a Facebook Live. And he was like, okay. I was like, we're just going to hop on live and try to get someone on with us. Let's call Noah, my longtime musical partner. And so I didn't even know how to do this. I was like, maybe we could FaceTime him and just like hold it up to the audience. Long story short, we did that. And I said, you know what? This feels really good to connect. A lot of people tuned in. I sang some songs, tried to heal a little bit. And well, I said, we should just keep doing this. We should do it every night. We should just do this every night because it feels good. And so we did for 70 consecutive nights. And that's how Randy's Live, this little variety show from my home, was born, with lots of different type of episodes, lots of different guests. I counted and we went back and counted. We had like over 120 guests over the entire time that we did. We did 83 Randy's Live episodes, 3 concerts from home, 12 nights of Jingle Ball, and a partridge in a pear tree with a drum sugar. So it was beautiful for us to do it and beautiful to connect with all of you. The other thing that I realized was that people were desperate for information. They were like, what was happening in New York wasn't happening in California, wasn't happening in Seattle, and the people in Maine were having a different experience. So we just sort of connected, and I tried to highlight some of the people doing really good. So tonight, it's our 1 year anniversary, happy anniversary for being able to connect with all of you and giving birth to this thing called Randy's Live. But not so happy that we've been doing this for a year. And even though things are slowly opening up in places and getting back to feeling like what we all know, yay, it's still not exactly where we want it to be, right? We're not quite there yet. And we're just fingers crossed getting there. But so it's also a bit of a sad anniversary because we've lost so many people to this horrible virus, and we've had one heck of a ride. And thinking about, our blessings, we used to always ask people their silver linings. I just keep thanking my lucky stars that that our little family of three has been able to sort of stay safe in our bubble. But I know many of you have not had that experience. And I know so many people, which is a blessing of traveling for a living doing music. My circle is far and wide, but at the same time, that means I know a whole lot of people that are not, having the same experience, and they've lost a lot of people. So I'm giving big love to you guys. We have a really fun show for you this evening. Let's see who's on. Hello, Jennifer Betraya. I can't see everyone, but I see Sans on. Tony's birthday. What is it? Really happy birthday, Tony. We can't wait to see you and to be part of Seth's concert in a couple of weeks. He's doing something from home. Also, big shout out to Donna Gast, whose birthday is tomorrow. Woo! Shauna, yeah, well, aren't we all? This is why I sing from the waist up. No, I'm kidding. Uh, it's really Wendy's here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So I thought I'd start tonight like I normally do with a song. Hey Bex, love you too. And then after that we've got a surprise for you. And so I'm just gonna go into a little tune. This is the tune that you've been hearing on Randy's Live. I'm hoping to get in to record it soon, but I want to sing the whole song for you and tell you the backstory, which is that when I wrote it, I was thinking, oh, I'm rhyming this with that, and I'm trying to put this into words, and I'm trying to capture a feeling. And I really want it to be about the year that we stayed home. But, it'll never be a year. So that's kind of a silly thing to put in a song. And look at us now. So here we go. This is the year that we stayed home. And if I can get through this without crying, amazing.
Remember when we couldn't go outside? And if we did, the space between us felt a mile wide. With our hearts 6 feet apart, we held each other with our eyes. Remember when we couldn't go outside? Remember when together meant alone? We worshipped in our kitchen and our schools were in our home. A window to the soul, we tried to let each other know we weren't together, but we were never alone. So now we'll hug a little longer, yeah, we'll kiss a little stronger, greet a neighbor and a stranger as our friend. We'll all be a little kinder, let the earth be a reminder where hope and beauty grow, love has no end. For all we know, we didn't know, we learned it all the year that we stayed home. Remember when we found out what we need? Connection and reflections, they all played out on our screens. Happy birthday from our cars, happy hours in our yards. Remember when we found out what we need? So now we love a little longer, we should kiss a little stronger, treat a neighbor and a stranger as our friend. We should be a little kinder, let the earth be a reminder where hope and beauty grow, love has no end. For all you know, we didn't know, we learned it all the year that we stayed home. And every night out in the country we would howl up at the moon, and in the city they would gather clapping loudly on the roof. Not all heroes wear a cape, not all warriors have a sword, and sometimes winning just means living, and a smile is your reward. Remember when we lost so many lives? The days marched on quietly, we watched those numbers rise. We swore we'd never take for granted what we loved and what we lost. Remember when we found out what it cost? So let's all hug a little longer, yeah, kiss a little stronger. Treat a neighbor and a stranger as a friend. We should be a little kinder, let the earth be a reminder. Where hope and beauty grow, love has no end. For all we know, we didn't know. We learned it all the year that we stayed home.
Aw, that's my always appreciative audience of 3. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Skylar Faith. That's a standing ovation from the music room. Yay! Oh, it's so great to oh my gosh, no posts that are gonna make me cry because that's not good. Because I'm trying fake eyelashes tonight because it's StreamYard. Yes, Wendy gets to hug her dad. I'm so excited about that for you. I have seen so many videos, and actually I'm gonna ask you to send some of those pictures into me in the next couple of weeks. But so many pictures of people hugging people that they haven't seen. Talk to so many people who have not seen their family for over a year, including us. We have not seen Andrew's family in over a year, which is unbelievable. And we just cannot wait to get to both coasts to wrap our arms around them, not to mention all of the family that we have in between. There's no crying in Randy's live. No, that's a lie. There's so much crying in Randy's live. Okay. So I have a great surprise for you tonight. I had this idea of the 120 guests that we've had. They've all just brought me so much joy and surprises and tears and laughter and connection. It's been unbelievable. And I thought it would be fun tonight to call 120 of them. So settle back. Grab a glass of wine. No, I'm kidding. We don't have time for that. I know that. But I did think it might be fun to check in on a few of them. And what I did was I went back to some of the very first guests that we had. And I wanted to specifically check in on them because of what sort of transpired for them over the past 365 days. 365. Did I know something? Because maybe I did. Okay. So our first one tonight I'd like to bring you to is our very first guest that we ever had on Randy's Live, which was really just a way for me to call a friend. I was phoning a friend and I was just broadcasting it out to all of you. So I want to tell you what I did. I checked in with some people. My dear friend Noah Heldman, you remember the Heldman family was our first guest. And I asked Noah if he would share with us something that he has learned over the past year. So here's our dear friend, my drum sugar, and my musical partner that I hope to be reuniting with musically very soon, Noah Heldman.
What have I learned over the past year? Science is awesome, and people are very resilient, especially kids, but you still have to nurture them.
Oh, that's my Noah. So I haven't seen most of these, so I'm a mess. That's my Noah, and he's so good. He just knew exactly what to say and make me cry. And yes, you have to still nurture children, and they are resilient. We talk about that all the time. If you know Noah and Jessica Heldman, they have 2 beautiful twin boys who are teenagers now. What? And they are part of a fantastic school that I actually had the pleasure of checking in on earlier this week. Beautiful school that was able to do a production of the Laramie Project. You might have seen that on my Facebook page and got to do a Q&A with them afterwards. Like with all schools everywhere, everyone just trying to do it right. This was a masked outside production of the Laramie Project. I want you to think about that. So they had masks on and they were outside and they did this beautiful play. So Noah and I have not been able to do music for a year. Oh my gosh, over a year. I think our last gig together was March 2nd in California last year. But we've been able to do some fun things here virtually, and our next concert will be virtual, and then our concert after that, I don't think we'll be virtual. I think we'll be together again. What? Hoping in the summer. Yes, Noah. So thank you. Okay, so Noah was our first guest, and then of course one of our guests right after Noah was my other longtime musical friend. We have done so many things together. He's produced so much of my music and been very responsible for most of the Randy Driscoll sound. And I want to tell you a little bit about what Larry has been doing. Larry took this opportunity, and if you know Larry Mitchell, he has toured. He's in Russia one week, and then he's in Italy, and then look, he's in Nashville. See you for 5 minutes, and then he's in New York. But no, wait, he's in another country. He's in Germany. What? And he was grounded. We were grounded. So he has been doing something really beautiful. Twice a week, he's been coming to you this way. He does a Sunday night acoustic stream and a Tuesday night live, sharing his music. The Tuesday night he did for forever. He's been doing that no matter, he'll do it in airports. He'll do it from his hotel room. But the Sunday Sunday night is new, and it's a way to build connection. So I called Larry and I said, will you share a couple thoughts with our audience about what you've learned? So let's see what Larry has learned.
Hey, Randy. Yes, it's been a year. Amazing. You've done some amazing things and brought so much love and joy to lots of people. If there's one thing I've learned during the pandemic is, besides learning lots of technology, is that how much people need music and how much it's helped. And thank you for being a part of that. All right. Ciao.
Thank you, Larry. You can catch him on Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. So those are my musical buddies right there, Noah and Larry. Thank you for all that you've given us. And while we're sort of on that musical realm, I'm going to bring you one more. Another friend of mine that's been doing something really incredible when he's not out in the mountains talking to the bears. You know who I'm talking about. This dear friend of mine who was also in the first week of shows that we had. This is back when we had no idea what we were doing. And I was sort of like, we're just going to call you and somehow, and it's going to work. Andrew's going to lean over a computer and hold up a phone and we're just going to try to talk. If he's not out sort of like spreading peace and love or talking to animals in the wilderness, then he is doing really online concerts. He did a 3-hour Prince tribute. Seriously, he did it was incredible. I'm not sure I saw the whole 3 hours, but I saw most of it. But along with doing live concerts and also creating beautiful art and photography, he has been doing these morning sessions. Morning mantras very, very early in the morning. And he was doing it really steadily. And, you know, for I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but a lot of people know that as artists, we sort of have to do this, you know, but it's not always easy for everyone to get out of bed in the morning. It's not always easy for an artist to do that. So sometimes we do it because it heals our soul. And sometimes we do it because we feel an obligation to put something out there. And sometimes we do it because we're moved by a higher power to do it. But for everyone that's been trying something new in this world, I just applaud them. So definitely check out Zach's music and let's hear what Zach has to say about what he's learned in the past 365 days.
Learned a whole lot about change this last year. The importance of slowing down, the importance of breathing, and allowing new opportunities to blossom, and the importance of feeling, just feeling it all.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you for always being honest in your music and in your words. And I know it hasn't been a particularly easy year for you. You've suffered some very close loss. So we appreciate all the music that you can bring us. And I just love the fact that Zach was somewhere in the mountains or like near a stream or talking to a bear. Like he was not inside anywhere. And I would expect nothing less from my dear Zach. So all of these artists you can support online. You can find their music. Hi, Jessica. The Heldmans are on. Hi, Brett. It's so good to see you. Oh my gosh. Hi, Bethany. Hi, Joanne. Thank you for the kind words, guys. Oh, I'm going to heart you guys back too. I'm going to heart you back too. Okay, one more before I move on to another song. I want to invite this person to share their thoughts with us. Early on, I realized one of the things that Randy's Live could do was that we could sort of like share our thoughts in this comment section. And I also encourage you guys, if you want to share some thoughts of things that you've learned over the past 365 days, that would be really good to hear. I miss you too, friend. So go ahead and put some things in there. And as you notice, people will like sort of form conversations. It's super cool. They'll talk to one another in the comment section. So it sort of feels like we're together, even though we're not. We were not together, but we were never alone, right? So one of the things I realized early on was that a lot of people were struggling with not just the newness of being isolated, but with the sorrow of losing people, the fear. And so I called on a dear friend of mine. She's been on the show, I think 2 or 3 times, who's a beautiful therapist in San Diego. She's also one of my dear friends for many years. But I called her and I said, this might sound odd, but I'm going to call a therapist on the show and just see if you can talk to us a little bit about what we're feeling. So she talked to us in the beginning just about how to handle what was happening. And then she talked to us a little bit later about the growing fatigue, about the change in the world, the way the things had been happening, both, with social justice movements that were causing some division in the world. And we were seeing this play out while we were being isolated from one another. So maybe the people that we wanted to talk to about this or connect with, we were having trouble with. People were just feeling a lot of tension on the screen. And so she came on a few times to help us heal. And I think we had some really good conversations. So here's Abby telling us a little bit of what she has learned in the past 365 days.
Hey, Randy. So I think I learned a lot this year. Probably one of the most important things I learned, I actually picked up from this little guy, to spend less time being productive and more time just being. That's probably the biggest lesson from this year.
I mean, she brought a puppy on, so she's winning. There's a puppy. What a cute dog, true. And I loved her perspective too, because she was telling something that she learned, right? Even though I'm always asking her for advice, she was mentioning something that she learned about being in the moment, which is something that at first we were all sort of forced to do. And then I think a lot of us realized how much we sort of had to do that, especially for musicians. I heard from so many musicians over the 100 that we had on that said, I didn't want to slow down, but slowing down was one of the nicest things I could do. So I'm going to do a brand new song for you. Many of you know that, and thanks so much for tuning in tonight and being on with us. It's so great to see you guys, the people here, the people on our other pages, the people on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And then, of course, you can watch these afterwards on YouTube. So in January and February of this year, I just was having a sort of hard time, and I wasn't feeling well physically. I was going through a lot of sort of what turned out to be Nashville sort of allergy things. And I think Skylar's trying to come back in. And I mean, I don't know if the curtain's moving. No, absolutely no one will know what's going on because it's live. What? It's a door? I thought it was a curtain. Yeah, thank you. Good. That was just a bathroom break. The good thing is we're not live, so it's no worries, honey. So I was sort of going through a bunch of just things physically, not feeling well and struggling with all kinds of headaches, and it caused me to sort of be very inward. Plus, just a lot of angst about the state of our world and how divided we were. And I usually process that with songs, but when you're not feeling well enough to sing, I wasn't able to process it. I also wasn't able to write because I was having these headaches. So I wasn't able to sort of journal or go on and write a post or really sort of write a prayer. I wasn't able to do much. I was a whole lot of fun. Sorry, Andrew. And the whole time I kept thinking I don't know if I want to share this because I'm usually the one that tries to rally, tries to really, okay, let's make something happen. Let's just take care of this. I didn't know what to do. And I started sharing it a little bit. Last year, I actually started sharing a little bit of what I was feeling, and then it seemed to get a little darker for me and a little darker, and I was sharing a little bit more. And the more people that read what I was saying, I was hearing them say the same things, like, yeah, I'm having a hard time. Things that are normally natural to me aren't feeling as natural. I'm starting to feel exhausted, but I feel guilty about feeling exhausted. I'm starting to be sad and angry, but I feel guilty about feeling sad and angry. And I realized as I was reading other people's posts that we were all having this very shared experience. And so I wrote a song about it. I'm feeling a lot better now. And I realized that this is just all part of the journey that we're on. But I also realized that I'm not the only person that's feeling this. So maybe there's some of you that's been feeling this. In fact, a dear friend of mine, another musician that I truly respect, she's also a pastor. She just posted recently that she was, kind of feeling like this was a hard time. And then another musician friend today just wrote that March seemed like a difficult month. So I just kept thinking, I was really happy a while ago. I've been happy for a long, long, long time. And I just would really like to get back to when I was. So I wrote this song, and it's called Get Me Back to When.
Maybe I've been so long in the water, kicking my legs back and forth, arms waving up and down. All the time I thought that I was learning how to swim, but I was learning not to drown. But I've been trying. I've been trying to get me back to when I wrote this story. I thought I knew the ending. I was strong and I was brave, but maybe I was just pretending. I could fight all of the lions, the dragons, I'd slay every one of them, and I will again. Just get me back to when been so long in the darkness, I forgot to open my eyes. So much time living on the winter side of things, while spring was kissing me back to life. I've been trying, I've been trying to get me back to when I wrote this story. I thought I knew the ending. I was strong and I was brave, but maybe I was just pretending I could fight all of the lions, the dragons. I'd slay every one of them, but that was then. Just get me back to when. So long I've been looking in the mirror for the girl I love the most, but I can't find her. There's only reminders, just the shadow of her ghost, her ghost, her ghost. Maybe I've been so long in the window, watching the world just spinning on, passing by. All the time I thought that I could barely walk, but I forgot that I could fly. I've been trying, I've been trying to get me back to when I wrote this story. I thought I knew the ending. I was strong and I was brave, and sure sometimes I was pretending I could fight all of the lions, the dragons. I'd slay every one of them, and I will again when I get back to when. Get me back to when.
Wow. Fantastic. Would you say that's the best live music you've seen all year? No, it's the only live music she's seen all year. So yes, she would say yes. So let's get back to another one of my friends right now. This is a great duo that I've had the pleasure of being a guest on their show. They did something really cool this year. They started a podcast, and it's been beautiful to watch what they've sort of done. And I really have been noting all of these people who have really been coming to you virtually week after week or month after month, the best way they can. So let's bring on my friends Witherward to talk about what they've learned in the past 365 days.
Hi, I'm Ed.
And I'm Ash from Witherward.
And during the lockdown, we have learned how to do a podcast called Crimes Against Folk.
It's been important to us to archive not only our own stories, but also those of our guests.
And we've learned a ton of stuff doing this, and we're in it for the long haul.
Oh, they're so great. And did you see the way they played off each other? That was awesome. That's Witherward. And they have an amazing podcast that is Sundays, I think Ashley said, at 1:00. So you should check it out. They're fantastic. And I love how artists just, and they're another one. Hi Sabrina. They're other ones who were touring so many dates out of a year, like over 200 maybe. Maybe more than that. And so the fact that they've had to go turn and do something completely, new and exciting is sort of amazing. I was looking at my Facebook Live today, and or my Facebook page today, and it said that it was exactly a year ago tonight that we had this next artist on as a guest. Oh, so coming to you every week, doing a concert from above the garage are our friends Lisa and Karen. And again, they're people that would be touring. She'd be in Nashville. She'd be all over the place, and she's coming to you virtually every week, as are a lot of other artists that I didn't get to, like my dear friend Danny Carroll. She's doing something weekly. Billy Stritch is doing something weekly called Billy's Place. Brian Nash is doing something weekly. Oh my goodness. But here is a year ago tonight. She was my guest on Randy's Live. So here is Lisa Sanders and Karen Hayes.
Hi.
Hey,
Lisa Sanders.
brown sugar.
And what we learned this year was we could get dressed up and play concerts in our living room.
And you know what I learned? I can get dressed up like this, go have fancy dinner, and eat it in the car. Ah.
Perfect. That was totally perfect. I loved it. That's Karen Brown Sugar. Yes, of course. And when we're all together, we've got Karen and Brown Sugar and Randy and Drum Sugar. And when Skylar makes an appearance and plays a tambourine or something, she's Little Sugar Cube. So, okay, well, that leads us to, yes, you are. That leads us to our next segment. I know you've been waiting for it. It's been part of Randy's Live for just about every live we've done. You know that I have a wonderful husband who does so much work for these shows. He's the reason we have graphics. He's the reason there's so much going on. He's the reason that, I don't know, I can just sort of sit here and talk to y'all. But he's also really handy with a shaker. What? No, not that kind of a shaker. Yes, and your daddy. Not that kind of a shaker, a different kind of shaker. So let's bring you the segment that I know you've been waiting for. It's been months and you've been missing it. How about a little Mixin with McGinnis?
McGinnis. Yeah.
And we're back. It's Friday night. That means it's Mixin with McGinnis. It is fantastic to see you all out there. I don't see anyone. I'm on video. It's so weird. I wish I had an audience. So, oh, this is nice. Nice to see you, sir. Madam, lovely to see you. If you could, oh, excuse me, sir. Silence your phone. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. It's nice to be here in a theater with all you vaccinated people. All right. A few of you have masks on. Well done, you. It's been a long year, and I appreciate all your efforts. All right. Right to the cocktail. It's called the April Rain, a very nice, beautiful, classic, light cocktail for the upcoming spring. April Rain. It is basically your vodka or gin martini with lime juice. Ooh. And since I am a gin person, I will be using Hendrick's Lunar Gin. I love gin, I love Hendrick's, and I love the moon. So I'm going to try this, something new. We also need some dry vermouth, shaker, martini glass, lime, and then we're good to go. All right, start off with your shaker. I'm going to add 2 ounces of gin or vodka. I'm using gin. Now, again, if you've seen the show before, and I hope you have, I don't measure, I just pour. All right, 2 ounces. Oh, sure. I don't know if that's 2 ounces, but it's going to taste good. Half ounce of your dry vermouth, brand new bottle. Delicious. Half ounce. Oh, that's about right. And then a half ounce of lime juice. I'm choosing fresh lime juice. How you can measure is about a half a lime is a half ounce. So we just squeeze one of those right into it. Ooh, right there. Put on the cap and then we shake. And then strain into your martini glass. Ooh. And then we garnish with lime peel. Oh, and then my favorite part. And there is the April Rain. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's delicious. I know. Thank you. Okay. Go away now. Whew. There. They were getting rowdy. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us tonight on this special Mixin with McGinnis. But I'm thinking, because we are looking back from the past year, 1 McGinnis just isn't enough. I think y'all would like 2 McGinnises. And there you are. And we have a Skylar McGinnis. Wait a second. I think this might be inappropriate for you to be in a bar. Yeah. Here we are in our kitchen, a safe environment for a kid. Okay, so we are now going to make our second drink. And because throughout this past year, Skylar would always say, Daddy, how about a kid's cocktail? And I never listened because I'm an awful, awful father.
No, you are.
That's the answer I was looking for. Okay, we are making a kid's cocktail tonight. And that kid's cocktail is called what?
It is called Baby Yoda Surprise.
Baby Yoda Surprise. Fantastic. I can't wait to see it. All right, what are the ingredients and items that we need?
A bottle of Sprite.
Uh-huh.
And you'll only need like half of it.
Sprite, our newest sponsor. Thank you.
A toothpick, any kind of toothpick that's at least this long.
Super long. Yeah, a super long toothpick. Perfect.
Blueberries.
Or
olives.
what kind of olives?
Small ones.
Black olives.
Black olives.
Black olives. Okay. Black olives or blueberries. We're choosing blueberries because they're
They're blue.
sweeter.
Um,
We need a
fancy glass.
Uh-huh.
Any type of fancy glass.
with
I'll just call it a
spine or stem.
stem.
Yep, perfect.
That's what I was looking for.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what else?
We this food coloring.
Food coloring, and the color
Green.
would be green. Wonderful. We need 2
And then
slices
2
of
slices of
lime. Show it. Perfect. And then what else?
a paper bag.
All right. So we should start with this right here. Open that up.
Me not knowing how to open it up.
Do you want me to help? Yeah. Okay. Would you like to pour it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like till here.
Sure. Pour it quite a ways up. I say go
Yes,
high.
yeah.
Perfect. There you go.
Okay.
I think that's great. Now,
So then she's gonna do it.
oh, I'm going to do this?
Yeah.
1 itsy bitsy little
The
drop.
tiniest.
Tiny. And I'm going to use the toothpick because
It's
I'll
that
show
tiny.
you. We're just going to dip. Oh, that might be even too much, but I hope not.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no. Look at that on camera.
Ooh,
That looks
actually,
fantastic. I think that's great. Now, we need.
This one. Oh, that's not getting in the drink.
Yeah, and let's spin it right here for a second. And now, Skylar, the blueberries.
Yep. So you're gonna grab your first blueberry.
Slide it on easy.
Slide it on.
Second one.
And you don't want to go all the way over.
And there we are. 2
Yeah.
blueberries. Right?
Only left like the eyes.
And then we hang it right
Just
there.
And
It'll-
it might spin a little.
That's okay. And then we do this little guy. And then let's put the second one on. And the second one.
Okay. And then we have the second line. Try and put it.
Oh, hang it right there. Perfect. Now, you will spin it for the audience. Oh. And there we are, Baby Yoda Surprise. Ooh. Skylar, would you do the honors?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Get in there. Uh-huh.
Delicious.
Tasty it is. See what I did there? Yeah. All right. Oh, she's going back for more. It must be good. And thanks for joining us on this special Mixin with McGinnis times 2. All right. It's time to throw it back to Mommy for Randy's Live.
Mixin with McGinnis. Yeah.
Times 2.
No, just no. I love that. So, what? That was really great. That was. Did you have fun, Sky? Was that awesome fun? You got to do Mixin with McGinnis. You want to say something? What do you want to say? You had a lot of fun. You did a great job. Your baby Yoda was so. And did it taste okay?
Yeah.
It's just technically Sprite. Did it taste good?
It tastes like Sprite.
But even better. Great job. Give me a kiss. You were awesome. Some blueberry juice went in. Yeah, olives with Sprite, not so much. Give me a kiss. Right. Love you. Good job, honey. Great job. That was Mixin with McGinnis times 2. So if you caught Seth's little thing there about having, oh my gosh. I know. Didn't you love that? I know. They're all dying. Baby Yoda. Yeah. And I think yours was better too, Scott. The other one, come on, Pisha. Yours was beautiful. When we first started doing Mixin with McGinnis, we were trying to think of what to call it, and a lot of people, right, there you go. Thank you. Perfect timing there, Seth. A lot of people are like, just call it Drinking with Daddy. No, and I was highly against that. So that was a little bit different tonight. Yeah, thanks so much for watching that. That was super fun. This is great to be back. We're going to try to come to you so much more regularly, trying to do this once a week now, and maybe turn it into a little podcast. And of course, have some guests back. We can't wait to do that. So let's just, before we leave you tonight, let's do a couple more things and check in with some more of our friends. I want to talk to you about another friend of mine that we checked in with. He was on our 80s episode, and he's been doing something really incredible. He's been doing a series called Outside Voices, which is a place where people can gather. He works at McAllister University, but it's a place where people can gather and sort of breathe and talk and be artistic and sort of share experiences outside safely with masks on. They're in this wide open area. This is my friend, Harry Waters Jr.
Hey there, Randy Driscoll's friends. This is Harry Waters Jr., he, him, his, Black Lives Matter, Sordo. I have a whole new name because that's what I've learned in this past year is how to be true to yourself. Name yourself. Call your power to you. Mine is Outside Voices, which we do every week. And we've been doing it for a year, where people laugh and scream and say hello in the park. Socially distant, but still we get to be human with each other. And let's remember that in these times of transition, we still get to be human. And sometimes you will all get to be earth angels, and you'll be mine. Thanks, Randy.
That made me so happy. Yay, Harry. I mean, that was like a little motivational talk right there. You get everything on Randy's Live. So for those of you that missed the 80s episode, go back and watch it. It's super fun. We had my friend Harry Waters Jr. that you may remember from Back to the Future movie. He was Marvin Berry in that movie, Chuck Berry's cousin, in the very fancy scene with Marty McFly. But is it true that Back to the Future takes place in 2021? Is that correct? Someone told me that's what they set the time machine to, which is so crazy if that's true. Because, hey, guess what? We're here. We're here. Oh, yeah. Hey, we're here. Somebody confirm that for me. Somebody Google that and put it on Facebook if you could. Yes. Good to see you guys. Oh, look at all the people that are on. Yes. Hi, Sansan. It's great drinking with Daddy. Yeah, we finally did it, right? Eventually. Hi, Dan in New Jersey. Eventually you get what you asked for, right? Yeah, so he's been doing something great. A lot of my other friends too. Ben Grace has been doing several shows live weekly with his beautiful new wife, Karen. They got married over the past year virtually in a most amazing virtual wedding I've ever seen in my life. Let's see, Sean Rolfe has been checking in with people. He was another guest. Jeff Berkeley has been doing a live show weekly or thereabouts. They've been doing Calvin Hart and Jeff have been doing like a porch series too. I'm trying to get everyone in there so that you know. Lena Rideout from New York has been doing something fantastic weekly. I think she does maybe Tuesday nights. All of these people have been just trying to check in on a regular basis. Of course, our other New York friend, Natalie Douglas, she was our guest right in the first 10 days. She's been doing concerts virtually, and she's all set up to do that now. So everyone just sort of pivot. One of the things that's happened over this past year is that we've really missed doing musical theater. Because if you know me, you know that not only do I do my concerts of original music all over the country, but I also teach a lot of musical theater. I direct, and I was getting ready to go back out to California to direct another musical theater class with Miss Becky, but that got shut down. So Skylar has been performing virtually. She's been in several musicals, right? You've done The Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonder. Oh my gosh, you've done 3. The Wizard of Oz. Wow. Charlie, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, Alice in Wonderland, and then you've also done an improv class, Insanity. And you've done monologues with Miss Kelly. Oh my goodness. So I want to do a shout out to Miss Becky, who found a brand new way to do musical theater. She does a lot of kids theater. And she called me and she said, I have to do something and I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to try it. And maybe I'll try this Zoom thing. Are we Zooming? And I said, yeah, Crazy Town, right? Yes. But if anyone can make Crazy Town fun, it's Miss Becky. And she had them doing improv. I'm telling you, right in the spring when this first started. And she's done some pretty incredible musicals. So let's see what Miss Becky Turlin Baird has learned over the past 365 days.
I think what I learned were some things that I thought I knew that I truly believe now I understand. What is community? I thought I knew what community was, but now I have a really, really good understanding in my heart about what community is and who my community is and who the people are that are important to me that I want to help and I want to have around me. I also learned what resilience means. And I really recognize that in kids. And I thought that I always knew kids were resilient, but I was able to see what true resilience is. And I learned that anything is possible when you really put your mind to it. And we say that all the time, but in this year that was incredibly scary, especially in the beginning, I learned how important the arts is to our community and our world, and that art matters. And I learned what that meant.
Yay, there's Miss Becky Sky, someone we've been checking in with on a regular basis, who has taken on like a cast of 12 young people online doing musical theater. It's insane. And we're hoping that we can get back to some real musical theater, hopefully this summer, with people vaccinated and people together. And oh my gosh, my friend Rhonda from California. It's nice to see you, friend. Thanks for putting these comments up because I can't see them all on my phone. I can't load any of the YouTube ones. You're so busy. You know what? You just made a drink. Hold on, McGinnis. Mixin with McGinnis, part 2. What are you? So I think I'm going to do one more song for you before I want to talk about the current news that has happened this week. I was on a really interesting phone call with Moms Demand Action, and I want to talk a little bit about them. You know, we had 2 violent mass shootings in the past, 7-10 days, I guess it's been. And of course, our hearts and thoughts and prayers go to Atlanta, and they also go out to Boulder, but that's hard. I'm really tired of adding cities to better. I just keep adding cities, and it's going on and on and on and on. And so Moms Demand Action is a wonderful group. And I think that's important that I tell you that not only is it a group of moms that want to see smarter gun laws, but it's a lot of gun owners in there. And I think sometimes when you start to talk about any of these groups that are speaking about gun violence, people sort of quickly take a side. And now more than ever, people are quickly jumping to sides. And I just felt that it was important that I mentioned that these are a lot of gun owners that are talking about safety in gun owning. And they're talking about the fact that they don't want anyone to take their firearms, but they are very aware of the importance for things like red flag laws when people are seeming off or seeming like they might harm someone or harm themselves, not giving them access to a gun or not allowing them to get access to a gun, and how important that is. And I think it's really important that we talk about that. So if there's a moms group in your town that you would like to, join, they're doing some pretty amazing things, which leads me to just the things that have happened this week. And I have some friends on tonight who have suffered firsthand what gun violence can do. So I'm going to sing this song for them right now. I thought it was appropriate for this evening. I don't sing this very often, but I'll sing it tonight for you guys until we don't have to sing this song anymore. That's for sure, right?
I've got a daughter, she's close to 5. She dresses up in fairy wings, and for hours she sings. She likes her dollies, fireflies, and ponies. She likes to run in the park and stay up after dark. She knows all of the colors of the rainbow. She likes the leaves on the trees when they dance in the breeze. She thinks monsters are just in the movies. If you hide under the sheets, the boogeyman's at a reach. But we all know the monsters are real. Can't we do better? I mean by each other. Yes, there's gold in the streets, enough for you and me. Can we do better? I mean by each other. It's one hell of a road. If we go it alone, can we do better? I think we better try. There is a mother, and she has a son, in a bucket of tears for a lifetime of fears. Now there's hatred, fighting, and bullets. There's no time to pray when we're placing the blame. There is fighting, violence, and rioting. There's blood in the streets, no signs of peace. There's screaming and crying, and it might take a while to learn we're all someone's child. But we all know the monsters are real. Can we do better? I think we better. Yes, it's one hell of a road. If we go it alone, can we do better? God knows we better. Instead of of carrying that hate, why don't you bury that weight? And together we can do better. We better try. Orlando and Dallas and Baton Rouge, Falcon Heights and Newtown and Blacksburg and Oakland and Huntsville and Fresno and Wakefield, Chicago and Jackson, Dayton and San Jose, Seal Beach and Ferguson, Brookfield and Knoxville and Charleston and Sanford, Poway and Columbine, DC and Memphis, Red Lake, Las Vegas, El Paso and Brooklyn, Aurora and Boulder and San Bernardino, Atlanta, Savannah, New York and Chattanooga, Tucson and Clinton and Fort Hood and Roseburg, Minneapolis, Colorado Springs, Santa Monica and Oak Creek, Santee, Goleta, DeKalb and Killeen, Meridian, Honolulu, Fort Worth, Garden City, Parkland, Virginia Beach, San Francisco, Nashville, Jonesboro and Cleveland, Isla Vista, Carson City, Tulsa, Palm Springs, Baltimore, and on 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 and on, till we don't hear them anymore. Can't we do better? Well, I think we better. There's gold in the streets, enough for you and me if we do better. Yeah, I know we can do better. Instead of carrying that hate, just bury that weight, and together we're gonna be so much better. And when you're out of hope, I will throw you a rope, and together we can be better. And we'll weather the storm, and when we make it to shore, we will show them how love always wins. And we'll be better. I know we can be better together. God knows we better try.
Oh, Sky. There's a group on tonight with us that I know is trying to make the world better. Thanks for listening, guys. I know that sometimes songs like that are hard. They bring up so many different feelings. But again, I told you that songwriting is therapy for me, and I think it's important to call out those places and those names so that we don't grow numb to this. And what a year it's been. We've been growing numb to a whole lot of stuff, and we don't want to do that anymore, for sure, right? So our last check-in this evening is with a dear friend of mine who has been doing a weekly show, 2 of them actually, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say that he's learned. I've learned one thing for sure, which is that we need the arts and we need artists, and we need all of you, along with all of the essential workers, along with all of the hospital workers, along with all of the heroes that we have constantly shouted out to. I know that we need times like this to heal, and for songs that I just wrote, for bringing us together and bringing awareness to things that are happening, like with Better, bringing awareness, but also just to sort of share that shared experience. So here's a friend of mine, Jim Caruso. We're going to check in him right now with him to see how he feels about the past 365 days.
Hi, Randy. I have learned a lot about myself and about my community during this past insane year. I've been thrilled and inspired by the strength and the fortitude of my artist friends. It's been a year of the universal pivot One dancer friend now has a thriving florist business. A Broadway performer friend is now producing online virtual events. Actors, dancers, writers, singers, directors, choreographers, filmmakers, musicians, so many people have shown unbelievable resilience and tenacity and creativity, like you. Post-COVID, I know that art and theater and music will play a huge role in the comeback of this country. It's going to take some time for people to want to sit side by side in a theater or a music room. But artists are ninjas, and no stinking virus is going to take us down without a fight.
Oh, I mean, that seems like a perfect way to sort of wrap it up, right? They're never going to bring us down. I mean, really, Jim, that was amazing and true. And the pivot is something we've all done, right? Whether you are an artist or you work in an office and are now working from your kitchen table in pajamas, or whether you are a school teacher, wow, different year, or a nurse or a doctor or an Uber driver, or no matter what you do, a waiter, anyone this year has had to pivot in some way or another, has had to change what they do. And that has been nuts, but you've all done it. And congratulations for making it through. And like when I introduced my song, Get Me Back to When, it's a shared experience to realize that we are not okay a lot of the time. But if you're just kind of showing up, even if you're not showing up 100%, then you're doing okay. And so I think before I leave tonight, I'm going to bring up Skylar Faith McGinnis. Skylar, I didn't ask you, would you like to share with us something that you've learned? Do you have something? Come on up. This is Skylar Faith McGinnis. You might recognize her from Mixin with McGinnis. Sky, what have you learned in the past 365 days?
I learned that COVID is a problem.
You've learned that COVID is a problem. Do you want to say it in there? Yeah.
I learned that that COVID is a problem.
It's a real problem, and it's been not that easy, right? Do you think we're starting to maybe come out of it, hopefully? And maybe brighter days ahead?
Hasn't it been like 400 days actually since we did it? Because we did it March 20th, and today's like March 27th.
She's counting. She's making it 400 days. I mean, it's been a lot of days. It's definitely been more than 365 days. Now she's just making me do math on the air, which is scary. Okay, I love you. Wait, come back in one more minute. Go back and I'll call you back up in one more second. I'm going to end tonight with a brand new song. I wasn't going to do this, and we're going to go over time, and I'm sorry. But I feel like I want to sing this song tonight. And it's, it's my show. I'm live. Here we go. One more song, last song. I wanted to end it on a I don't know, positive note when I saw my little girl, and that's you, my little girl. And so here we go. This is a brand new song, and it's for you, Skylar Faith. Gosh, I'm just going to have a whole CD about writing for Skylar Faith. This is called The Ballad of Bunny and Frog. True. She told me in the morning Bunny was gonna marry Frog. She said it was fine, that they were different, that they hadn't known each other for too long. And though she is small, I could tell all she wanted was to believe was that a love like this was true. So I said, well, it is, if you find somebody who loves you for all your broken parts, kisses the stitches on your heart, loves you for all your battle scars, somebody who loves you as you are, as you are. She told me sometime later it wasn't going very well. Bunny was mad and Frog seemed angry. She didn't know why, but she could just tell. And I said, that's okay, we all make mistakes, but if you're careful and
who loves you for all your broken parts, kisses the stitches on your heart, loves you for all your battle scars, somebody who loves you as you are, as you are. And she asked me if some hearts just stop loving, and I said no. But some hearts drift apart, some hearts break, and some hearts grow, but they don't always grow the same way. That night while she was sleeping, I kissed Bunny on his face. He was dirty and a little roughed up, but she loved him anyway. And I thought, look at that, it's as simple as finding someone who can see right through to all of you, even when you're no longer new. Yeah. Find somebody who loves you for all your broken parts, kisses the stitches on your heart, even with all your battle scars, somebody who loves you as you are, as you are, as you are. Somebody who loves you as you are.
That's the Ballad of Bunny and Frog. There it is. And I love you just the way you are so very, very, very much. Love you, love you, love you all. Hey, go. So keep checking in with one another. I'm going to keep bugging you and checking in with you because I really need it. I really need this. It's really good to see my tribe again. This has been so wonderful. I'm going to go back and check all the comments. Oh my gosh, friends. This has been beautiful. I love sharing this time with you. Hey, New Jersey on. Hey, Sienna and Maria and Kelly. Oh my gosh. And oh, Bethany Beanie's on. Okay, Skylar, let's do this. Do you remember how we do it? Okay. And if you forget, you can look at the plate that our friend Amanda in Wisconsin sent us. We're going to be doing a lot of shows that have guests. We just want to get back into it. And even though travel is opening up and I plan to be traveling in the not so distant future, hopefully, we still want to check in with you virtually once a week. So we're going to be a lot better about doing that. Skylar, what do we want to tell our friends? Your
vibe attracts your tribe.
And we love our
Tribe and vibe.
Yeah. I love your vibe. Thanks for being with us tonight. Big shout out to Andrew McGinnis. Thanks to all the artists that showed up and all of the many, there's so many of you people that are doing it in a brand new, different way and making the world a better place. I love you and I miss you. So yay, hugs, and have a great evening and take care of one another. Bye.